In this last step for graphing, we want to look at vertical shifts. The first step is always to graph y equals a sine or cosine of wx. After we do that, we're going to apply our vertical shift. That means we would have the equation y equals a times the sine of wx plus or minus k. And remember that that's going to shift us up or down. Same thing for cosine here. So let's do some practice with that. We're going to start by graphing the basic function y equals 2 times the cosine of negative 3x. We're going to ignore that minus 4. Cosine is even. That means we can ignore this negative sign. Why don't you go ahead and do that? So here we have our cosine graph without the vertical shift. We had a period length of 2 pi by 3 radians. And when I divided by 4, I saw that each interval was going up pi by 6. So I have 1 pi by 6, 2 pi by 6, 3 pi by 6, and then 4 pi by 6. Of course, I've written the reduced fractions there. And now we want to do this minus 4. So what does this mean? This means that we're going to go down 4 units. Every point on the graph has to go down 4 units. So I see here I'm going up by 2. So if I go down 4, I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Same thing all the way along. Otherwise, everything about the graph stays the same. Still a wave, still continuing in both directions. We've just shifted it down 4 units. You can see that this changed our y-intercept. We don't have any x-intercepts. And it changed the range. So our domain is still the set of all real numbers. What about the range? Well, my lowest point now is at negative 6. And the highest at negative 2. Let's try one more. I want you to graph y equals 3 times the sine of negative pi over 4x. Let's ignore the plus 2. I hope you remember that sine is an odd function. So we took that negative sign inside and moved it outside. So when we found our amplitude, after we put on our y-intercept, we knew we needed to go down to negative 3. So this is what you have so far. Now we want to graph the function with plus 2. Why don't you do that? We see that the whole graph has been shifted up 2 units. Our domain stays the same. What is the range? Our lowest value now is at negative 1, going all the way up to 5. Make sure you practice these. Make sure you practice them on paper and in Pearson so you're comfortable doing both. Remember that as always, there are questions posted here for you to practice, and the answers can be found on the class Moodle page.